So the crypto king Sam Bankman-Fried has been sentenced to 25 years for fraud. If you don't know about this, this is a huge story. This guy became extremely wealthy dealing in crypto. He made tens of billions of dollars. And I've never trusted crypto. I don't understand it. I do understand it, but I don't trust it. I think just, making money overnight like that, you can get lucky, but you're most likely going to lose all your money. So I never got into that, and I don't want to get into that. I'd rather just go the normal route where you build up money slowly and stuff like that. It's more secure. But anyway, the way crypto works, by the way, the whole financial system is kind of like crypto because the money we have in our pocket, the paper is useless, is worthless. But countries have collapsed, economies have collapsed, and currency has also become worthless, just like crypto. But the thing with crypto is it's not regulated by any government, so it literally just depends on what value people want to give it. So if everybody wants to say, oh, one Bitcoin is worth 1 million, it's worth 1 million. When they decide tomorrow, oh, it's actually not worth anything anymore, it's worthless. So it just depends on people. It's very unstable. So I would never get into anything like that. But some people have made fortunes out of it, and I would say they just got lucky. You only hear about the people who got lucky and made a lot of money. All the people who have lost, thousands of dollars, you're not going to hear about those. But anyway, let's look into this. This guy is a young guy who made a fortune and lost it overnight. So let's have a look.
The highly anticipated criminal trial and sentencing for Sam Bankman-Fried is kicking off, with Sam facing 7 counts of fraud and conspiracy that could net him a life sentence. In arguably the craziest rise and fall of all time, the 31-year-old built FTX into a company that everyone believed would usher in the future of crypto and change the world. Worth $32 billion in just a few short years, but then even more quickly went bankrupt virtually overnight amidst discoveries of massive fraud and scandal. It's remarkable to remember Sam was crypto's real-life white knight at one point, even using his wealth to bail out other crypto companies, all while promising to donate 99% of his money to charity and becoming the poster boy of responsible crypto investing. He graced the covers of Time magazine, became one of the most influential lobbyists in Congress, and rubbed shoulders with the likes of Tom Brady and Bill Clinton in the Bahamas, where he lived like royalty. Now, with billions of consumer dollars completely wiped out and many thousands of lives ruined, Sam has become the very embodiment of crypto abuse and bad behavior that he said he was campaigning against. But just how did we
It's crazy. A lot of people have lost their lives savings. They spent all the money they had. I've seen videos of people that spent all their savings on crypto, trying to make a fortune, and they lost it all. Imagine working for years and then losing all your money overnight. It's crazy.
get here? And what led this privileged Silicon Valley geek to become the greatest fraudster of all time? Every iconic startup has a legendary origin story. Google was 2 Stanford PhDs in a garage. Facebook was 3 hackers in a Harvard dorm room. FTX started as just one guy in a Berkeley apartment trading crypto, and that guy was born to trade. Raised by 2 Stanford professors in the heart of Silicon Valley, Sam breezed through MIT before joining Jane Street, an exclusive high-frequency trading fund known to recruit the best math and physics students in the country. He was put to work as a market maker trading global ETFs, one of the toughest ways to make money given the complexities of international finance. It was the perfect training ground for what came next. In 2017, Sam started looking into crypto and noticed something strange. Bitcoin was selling at a higher price in Japan and Korea than it was in the US. In theory, this was just free money. You could just buy Bitcoin in the US for 10K, sell it in Korea for 15, and pocket an instant 50% profit.
Think about that. How simple is that? Like, this is not some kind of a genius kind of a scheme that you have to concoct and come up with. He just found out, you can buy Bitcoin for 10K in America and sell it in South Korea for 15K. It's not rocket science. You don't have to be a genius to figure that out. You just have to go online, and it's like checking, okay, you know what? I can buy a television from China for this much and I can import it to America and it cost me this much to import it, and then I can sell it for this much and I'm going to make a profit of, $100. And then you buy, I don't know, 20 TVs and you sell them and you just made, you know, $2,000. It's literally that simple. You don't have to be a genius to figure that out. So that's crazy.
It seemed too good to be true. The catch was that Sam couldn't just walk into a foreign bank and start wiring money out of the country. There were rules, citizen requirements, and currency controls in place that limited foreign transactions to just $5,000. Even worse, the constant flow of money coming into the country and then overseas to Bitcoin exchanges looked exactly like money laundering and tripped all sorts of red flags. But Sam uncovered a secret weapon. He found a Japanese grad student who volunteered to open an account with an obscure rural Japanese bank that was willing to process Sam's transactions. Sam then raised $50 million from his rich tech friends, including the founder of Skype, and started trading. The money piled up so fast that Sam eventually single-handedly collapsed the so-called kimchi premium. He's the only person known to have pulled this off, a legendary feat that cemented his place in finance lore alongside Michael Burry's famous bet against mortgages in 2008 and George Soros's 1992 raid against the Bank of England. This success gave Sam the insight for a much more ambitious move. At the time, Sam had to trade on either Coinbase or Binance. Coinbase was too highly regulated and it didn't offer the kinds of options Sam needed. But Binance was too sketchy, moving country to country just to evade jurisdictional authority. So Sam started his own exchange, FTX. After their first launch, FTX exploded in popularity. They offered the lowest fees, the highest leverage, the best derivative products, and above all, reliability for traders that stood apart from crypto's sleazy reputation. By the start of 2020, FTX facilitated 30 billion of transactions per month. Just 1 year later, that number hit 120 billion, and 6 months after that, 1 trillion. FTX was printing money by
1 trillion, that's crazy.
with only 22 employees, making it maybe the most profitable company in the world on a per employee basis at that time. But to truly build FTX into world domination, Sam needed even more money. In July of 2021, Sam dialed into a meeting with the entire partnership of famed Sequoia Capital. Sequoia's partners ate this up and funded him on the spot. Not only that, but in the ultimate power move, Sam was playing League of Legends throughout the entire pitch meeting. He ended up raising $1 billion, valuing the company at 18 billion.
Imagine that. You have like a couple of $1 billion deal that you're working on, and during the meeting, you're playing a game. How crazy is that?
And then another at 25 billion a few months later.
Some people are out in Pakistan, in Cambodia, and whatever. They're out there laboring in the streets in the sun, the heat, a lot of physical effort, while some kid is sitting in some room playing a game and closing deals for billions. That's crazy.
And 32 billion a few months after that. Sam was starting to hit the big time. FTX did sexy endorsement deals with the likes of Tom Brady and Steph Curry.
I'm getting into crypto with FTX.
With FTX, I have everything I need to buy, sell, and trade crypto safely.
And hosted events attended by Tony Blair, Bill Clinton, Katy Perry, and Prince William. Sam was living like royalty as well. He bought a $30 million mega luxury penthouse in the exclusive Albany community of the Bahamas. People were convinced Sam was on the road to becoming the world's first trillionaire.
In the next few decades, Sam may become a trillionaire.
Anyway, that's some more information about him. Let's look at the article. So it says here, this one, the BBC, fallen crypto king Sam Bankman-Fried gets 25 years for fraud. So the ruling cements the downfall of the former billionaire who emerged as a high-profile champion of crypto before his firm's dramatic collapse in 2022. He was found to have stolen billions from customers ahead of the failure. Bankman-Fried's legal team will appeal against his conviction. Earlier, the 32-year-old said in court he knew, quote, a lot of people felt, quote, really let down. He said, I'm sorry about that. I'm sorry about what happened at every stage. FTX was one of the world's largest crypto exchanges before its demise, turning Bankman-Fried into a business celebrity and attracting. Actually, only found out about him when this whole scandal broke, But I'm not really dialed into crypto. And attracting millions of customers who use the platform to buy and trade cryptocurrency. Rumors of financial trouble sparked a run on here. That's the thing I'm talking about. When people feel, oh, this is gonna collapse or its value is not, no longer at that level, that's how easy and how fragile this actually is. It could collapse at any moment. So he was convicted by a New York jury last year on charges including wire fraud and conspiracy to commit money laundering. By the way, there's one thing that hasn't really been mentioned either in the video or in this article. So basically, one of the biggest bad things or illegal things he did was he had a company called Alameda, and then he had this company FTX, and he was like taking money from taking loans from the banks for one company, and then taking that money and buying crypto from FTX. So he was manipulating the whole system in kind of a weird way that was illegal. So it's kind of difficult to explain, but he was taking money from one of his companies and then putting that money into his other company to artificially inflate the numbers. So before reading the sentence on Thursday, the judge, Lewis Kaplan, provided a harsh assessment of Bankman-Fried's behavior, saying he had lied during his testimony. Okay. So while 25 years constitutes a serious prison sentence, it is far less than the more than 100 years Bankman-Fried could have received under official government guidelines. Okay, I'm not sure how much he actually has to serve. Of those 25, he might end up serving 15 or 20 or something like that. Might even be less than that. Federal prosecutors and time served as well. I think I don't know. Anyway, federal prosecutors in New York this month told the judge such a long term was not necessary, but they requested at least 40 years, arguing that Bankman-Fried had committed a massive fraud while showing brazen disrespect for the law. Bankman-Fried's team had argued for a lighter sentence of roughly 5 to 6.5 years. Okay, they all said here the victims want their money back and they should get it. His lawyer, Mark McCuskey, argued in court on Thursday morning, sentenced him to work hard and give it all away. Okay, former federal prosecutor Mitchell Epner, now a lawyer at Rothenberg, whatever, said he was, quote, very surprised by the ruling, noting that Bankman-Fried could potentially be released from prison in about 13. Okay, there you go. He's going to serve about half, potentially half the sentence, which is also a long time, guys. 13 years in prison is a long time. It's not a fun experience. Um, but Jennifer Taub, a law professor at Western New England University, an expert on white collar crime, said she thought the length of the sentence was appropriate. So, look, guys, think about it. Would you rather just work a normal job, have a normal income, live a normal life, and not lose 13 years of your life being locked in a cell? You know, I think it's not even close. Like, you'd rather live a normal life, work a normal blue collar job or whatever, wake up every morning, go outside, go to your job, come back, enjoy the weekend, enjoy the evenings, whatever, cook your own food, just live life in general, go for a walk, go to the park. You'd rather just live a normal life as opposed to making all these billions and then end up spending a lot of years in jail and stuff like that. It's really overblown. Being super wealthy is it's not about the money. It's about what you're gonna do with it. So that's it. In his sentencing remarks, Judge Kaplan said what could amount to a life sentence was unnecessary, but that Bankman-Fried must receive a punishment sufficient to prevent him from committing future crimes. He also ordered Bankman-Fried to forfeit 11 billion that can be used to compensate victims. Okay, so Bankman-Fried is still a billionaire then apparently, I guess, if they told him he has to give up 11 billion. They could also tell him, okay, give back all the money to the investors, compensate all the victims, and then give him a lighter sentence. The government has already seized some of those assets, such as shares Bankman-Fried owned in Robinhood, the trading app, which raised more than 600 million when they were sold last year. Okay, so Bankman-Fried showed little visible reaction to the ruling. Bankman-Fried has admitted to mistakes of mismanagement, but maintained that he was acting in good faith. I mean, look, from all I've read a lot about this guy. I've seen a lot of videos about him, documentaries. I actually don't think he had bad intentions. I really don't think this guy had bad intentions. I don't think he was like a crook who just wanted to take the money and run off with it. I think he actually thought, what, I can balance the books, I can, raise some money here and there, and I can make things work. And that was that. I think it really was like, misjudgment from his side, but I don't think he actually had evil intentions. But yeah, it is what it is. That's the sentence now. It's going to be appealed. So let's see what happens with that. But yeah, if it stays like that and he gets 25 years and he ends up, at a minimum spending 13 years in jail, that's a pretty bad punishment. That's a bad punishment. It's a lot of money that's been lost or whatever, but it's still, a lot of, it's still a big punishment. So, guys, as the ribbon says, the sponsor is barakava.com, their website that sells clothing, necklaces, home decorations, home exercise equipment. Great websites. Check them out and use my code A for Apple, C for Charlie 2478 to get a 10% discount. Thanks for listening and see you in the next video. Bye bye.